Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into the story of a lost superpower. I'm talking about a Bronze Age civilization that was so huge, so advanced, and then it just vanished from history for millennia. Literally disappeared. Okay, so we all know about ancient Egypt, right? The pyramids, the pharaohs, the whole deal. Same with Mesopotamia. But what if I told you that their contemporary, another civilization thriving at the exact same time in South Asia, was actually bigger? I mean, way more widespread and with a larger population. And get this, in some ways, it was even more advanced.
Yeah, we're talking about the Indus Valley Civilization. This wasn't some small settlement. For 2,000 years, from 3300 all the way to 1300 BCE, it was right up there with Egypt and Mesopotamia as one of the three great cradles of civilization. And when I say big, I mean big. At its peak, we're talking about a population of maybe 5 million people. 5 million? That's just a huge number for the ancient world. And they were spread across this massive area that today covers Pakistan, parts of India, and even into Afghanistan.
So the big question is, how does a civilization on that scale just get forgotten? How do you lose something that massive? For centuries, its incredible cities were just lying there, buried under the dirt, completely unrecognized. And the story of how they stayed hidden is, well, it's kind of heartbreaking. Get this. In the 1850s, British engineers were building a railway. They needed ballast, crushed stone for the tracks. And they found this huge mound of old bricks nearby. So they just used them. They ground up millions of perfectly baked ancient bricks from the city of Harappa to support nearly 100 miles of track. They literally paved over history without even knowing it. The crazy thing is, some explorers had noted the ruins way back in the 1820s, but nobody put the pieces together. It wasn't until the 1920s, almost a full century later, that archaeologists had that huge aha moment. They finally realized they hadn't just found some old ruins. They'd stumbled upon a civilization on par with Egypt and Mesopotamia. And when they started digging, what they unearthed was just mind-blowing. These weren't just cities. They were masterpieces of engineering, way ahead of their time. Okay, so let's talk about cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa. Forget the chaotic, sprawling mess you might imagine. Nope, these places were meticulously planned. We're talking straight streets laid out in a grid, just like a modern city block. They used standardized, baked bricks, the same size bricks, across hundreds of different sites. And this is the real kicker. They had the world's first urban sanitation systems. That's right, covered drains running alongside streets, carrying wastewater away from people's homes. Incredible. And this wasn't just a one-off. We're not talking about one or two cool towns. Archaeologists have found over 1,000 different settlements. At least 5 of them were major urban hubs, bustling centers for trade and all kinds of crafts, each one showing off this same brilliant planning. So you've got this picture of a super organized, super advanced society. But for all that genius, the Indus people left us with some pretty deep puzzles, mysteries that make us rethink everything we thought we knew about how ancient civilizations are supposed to work. Which brings us to enigma number 1. Who was in charge here? Think about it. You have millions of people, huge public projects, this incredible uniformity across a vast area. Somebody had to be calling the shots, right? Well, maybe not. See, unlike in Egypt with its pharaohs or Mesopotamia with its kings, archaeologists have found no giant palaces, no grand royal tombs, no massive temples to the gods. There's just no clear evidence of a powerful ruling class, no kings or high priests. It suggests a society that was surprisingly egalitarian, and that's a huge deal. It makes you wonder, can a massive, complex civilization
actually work without a king on a throne telling everyone what to do? All right, and then there's the second great enigma, the big one. They left behind a written language, and we have absolutely no idea what it says. We see this beautiful, complex script on thousands of tiny seals and tablets. It's a system of about 400 to 600 symbols, but the inscriptions are super short, usually only about 5 characters long. And despite decades of trying, no one has been able to crack it. It's a locked door. And behind that door are their beliefs, their history, their stories, everything. If we could decipher this, it wouldn't just be a breakthrough. It could totally rewrite the ancient history of the entire region. So let's recap. We have this advanced, organized, widespread civilization, and then it just starts to fall apart. Around 1900 BCE, the whole thing goes into decline. People start abandoning those magnificent planned cities. The question on everyone's mind is, why? What happened? Well, for decades, the go-to theory was a big invasion, warriors sweeping in and destroying the cities. But the more archaeologists looked, the less sense that made. There just wasn't enough evidence of widespread violence. Now the scientific consensus points to a very different and maybe even scarier culprit: climate change. Basically, the weather changed. The climate got cooler and drier. The powerful summer monsoons, which were the absolute lifeblood of their agriculture, they just got weaker. A whole river system, the Harappa, which tons of their cities relied on, started to dry up. And when your water disappears, your crops fail. And when your crops fail, you can't support massive cities. People had no choice but to leave and search for more sustainable places to live. But here's the crucial thing. The end of the cities wasn't the end of the people. They didn't just disappear off the face of the earth. They did what humans do best. They adapted. They moved on. We see a massive population shift eastward toward the Ganges Yamuna Basin. People settled down into smaller, more rural villages and farms in areas where the rainfall was better. And you can bet they took their knowledge, their skills, and their culture with them. And now we have proof. This is so cool. Recent genetic analysis of a skeleton from the Indus city of Rocky Garhi confirmed this deep ancestral link. The DNA from this person, who lived thousands of years ago, shows that their lineage is the primary source of ancestry for most modern South Asians. It's a direct biological line connecting the people of this ancient civilization to the people living in the region today. Wow. So the Indus Valley Civilization isn't lost anymore. We found it. But its real story? That's still waiting to be told. It's locked away in that beautiful, unreadable script. It's a powerful reminder, isn't it? That whole worlds can be hidden right under our feet, just waiting for us to finally figure out how to listen to their secrets.